whatever all the cool kids are playing these days, because I sure as heck don't know. But nope, I decided this is more like a personal vendetta, really. This game has been a problem for me for some time. It's a lot like Caesar 3 in that I very often get the itch to play this game. I just need to think about production cycles. And oh man, thinking of grain is one of the worst things. I just imagine all these people crunching down grain, and I think, okay, the money that could be made off of the basic necessities of humankind. And it just gives me this great urge to play Patrician. I mean, the Caesar itch ain't so bad. Caesar you can blow through in a relatively short amount of time. This game, there is no short amount of time for playing it. But once it's done, once I have my perfect Hansa, that hands off just runs, and we make our 2 billion ducats. That's what I want to do. I want to hit that money cap hard. Then I'll know that there's nothing this game has to offer me anymore. We will truly be done with it. And with that in mind, that's how I managed to keep going through this obscenely repetitive, dare I say, boring gameplay. Now I say only boring people get bored. Well, boring people would get bored playing this game. Maybe, how about I change it up to only boring games get boring? Well, Jake, there's still that big post-send that eluded you. I'm not even going to be concerned about that. The perfect Hansa does not mean that every village is perfectly scoped out, otherwise I would have big problems with the way that I'm doing my farms. Perfect Hansa just means every city built up, all demands fulfilled, everything fulfilling. Of course, clothes are not counted in that because something has to give. One person does not produce one person's demand of all goods. There is a deficit, a slight deficit. One idea is to take that deficit out by reducing wine consumption, but after thinking it through I couldn't possibly deny my people alcohol, so I keep them drunk and I tell them you don't have to wear clothes, and oddly enough everything just works out. You should play some CSGO. Why though? It's on the punishment list for what it's worth, but I have no drive to play that game. I think I played Counter-Strike once on the console. Was that the one where there's like terrorists have planted a bomb and then you have to either kill all the terrorists or defuse the bomb? Something like that. If that is what it is, I played it once, was not enamored. Okay, what the heck? I have gone way overboard here with buildings in Boston. My only consideration is that maybe I haven't built any chapels. I certainly don't see any chapels. I mean, this is okay, because I'm going to destroy these clay pits anyway. And I only built one bunch of infirmaries. Unless, well, I mean, surely I wouldn't build them elsewhere. Okay, well, that's good to know. Goodbye, clay. You know, since it doesn't prevent diseases, I'm feeling even less inspired to build all the, yeah, all those fountains everywhere. It's like, yeah, you build 100% fountains here, which is 1 fountain per 3 houses. That's a lot of fountains. Here's your prize. No defense against plague. Thank you, game. Speaking of this game getting my undying love, this is next generation of enjoyment. Which is funny because I'm making a lot of people be very unemployed right now. They're just sitting on their thumbs waiting for those salt places to be built. Now I could actually wait a bit, but I'm actually just killing off lots of people here. A few thousand, but that's okay, they'll come back. I just want to be done with this place. I think a salter takes 8 days to be produced. No, only 5. Surprisingly small. Okay, moved you there. I didn't shrink the screen, did I? I didn't expand the screen, did I? Yeah, I definitely changed the size of the screen there. What have I done? Ah well, it's probably not important. It's not like we'll be going for much longer tonight. 570 and 570, and I got all this space for buildings, which is pretty awesome. But 4 of them are going to be taken up with warehouses. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need my own statue, of course. Infirmaries, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And we need the same with chapels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Still left a lot of space. I could build this place up further, but what I could also do is use this space for the best. There we go, that takes a bit of the pressure off me for building wells. Very nice. Alright, and with that, Boston can be put in yellow. And the yellow list grows. Jake, how about the new Zelda? Every developer, producer, etc. I know love the game. Is that Breath of the Wild? Because I do not have a whatever console that runs on. A Switch? A Wii U? Whatever it is, I don't have it. I got a Wii and never played it, so I haven't been super up to date with Nintendo non-portables. And Nintendo 3DS, and indeed its DS, were incredible consoles. Portables, but sure. Just like the Vita would be incredible if it had more than 2 games for it. Poor Vita. One's great on... Wait, Semu? Don't you mean Citra? Oh, Semu, yeah, of course. I never researched Canon. Let's get that sorted out, not that we use them. Alright, so... can't even remember why I looked over at Boston there. I think it's because I needed salt. But Berlin is our next goal. So I'm going to save, and then I think we only need 2 months to pass, and then we're done. For tonight, that is. Not done. Wildcard Red Crane goes around selling these wares to the market. So Breslav should no longer be in need of... Wait, what? Wow. He... I thought I told him to sell it to market, but I guess not. Well, it doesn't matter as long as he gives them a round anyway. It's all good. What's the money cap? It's 2 billion. And it's not capped. You just go and swing around to negative when you hit it. Got a lot of meat here. Wouldn't be too bad if Tavern Guy offered to buy it. Take a treasure map though. suspect we're going to have problems with a bunch of cities growing too big, like Riga here for example, so that the AIs end up building a load of buildings, which is a royal pain for me. I guess I'm not too mortified by them building houses. At least those aren't as bad as businesses now. They used to be a lot worse, but it's mainly just the way they build them that annoys me. But I mean, hey, once these internal cities are all done, distractions will be gone, and I can just focus entirely on building up all the cities, which is by far the least fun part of this game. That doesn't involve the word pirates, because thinking about the pirates in this game is the worst thing about the game. I'll keep Riga a bit tighter. Only for a short while though. I just don't care too much about getting it perfect. Just want to be mayor of Berlin, then mayor of Erfurt. And we done. Alright Berlin, I am in the running here, right? Of course, wait, 18th? Yeah, I was just reading it wrong. 18th it is. Also Berlin is looking good. All these internal cities hitting this high level is very encouraging. Except you're a bit slow, so let's have a meal for your poor. Anybody else being a bit slow? Well, Posen is, but Posen's a bit of a joke. Have another meal for the poor. Again, nowhere seems to be starving. They're short on fish, but we know that. And here we go, it's Berlin o'clock. And how much money does Berlin have for me? Well, it's 7 digits, so that I like. Ka-ching. Head tax is a bit low. I mean, not that it matters much, we don't worry about that. The smithy is working harder than we're milking them for, so I need to get these tools back over to Rostock. The fact that these guys actually produce a significant amount of goods for me now is kind of heartwarming, given the length of time that they did not. But in any case, Berlin, tell me more about yourself. First of all, by telling me about your wall. Build my own statue, of course. Ooh, what's the difference between defensive tower and guard tower? Crossbow or longbow? Cannon. More stable. Same cost. Why the same cost? Okay. I think we already have supermassive... yeah, we have reached super maximum on the wall already. Looks like a 50,000. What does my calculation say? Calculation says Berlin is 50,000 population. So, that calls for 17 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, what? 15, 16, 17, what? 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah. Yeah, looks good to me. Jake, if I recall correctly, you didn't have an estimate for Berlin, so you just put down 50,000. Ah, makes sense to me. Yeah, maybe Berlin could handle more than that. I mean, what I've already built here is 300 out of what I imagine would be 10,000 buildings. Now if I think of this as rotating around a clock, I could do this quite a few more times. It could probably handle 60,000. But our plan is only for this many people, but since I won't be here again as mayor, I'm gonna build up a few more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that has me good for 69,000 people, which is almost as big as Ripon, which is the biggest city around. I mean, really, look at all that space. It's good. It's real good. Although I don't plan on building up Berlin right now, I feel bad for it being so close to the cap, even after we bought out the entire city. Well, except for the houses, but that's a different kettle of fish. So we'll just bring that down a touch. Ooh, businesses are extremely short. I can't let the enemy build anymore. Berlin is meant to be almost all tools except for cloth. And I don't think we need many cloths right now. Tools I don't mind overproducing because I can shift those off to the Mediterranean and have a good laugh at it. So let's get those blacksmiths pouring their disgusting fumes into my residential area, because I have a great sense of humor. Better yet, we're stinking up the blacksmiths with all these peons living here. So the next time we play this game, it's going to be even less exciting than this. I need to, before much time passes, go to every single city and build it up 98%. The final 2% will come from buying out the enemy competition, but that's not necessary until we hit the population limit for any given city. So it's not a priority. I've done it for places in the past, but that's because I am a complete bastard. It's funny that these inland cities are so busted and broken down. You know, Berlin, a shambling wreck. Brandenburg, what happened, buddy? How far off is Jake finishing this game? Oh, still maybe like 20 hours of gameplay to go. But at least the end is in sight. Alright, Berlin's looking okay. I could still do a few more houses, but can worry about that next time. Which means we have one last place to do here, and that is everybody's favorite place, Erfurt. They want a chapel, they want a defensive tower. Well, when I become mayor, I'll see to all of that. Except not the tower. We moved there, and my wife has probably divorced me several times over. But we're still here now. Erfurt will have their election in less than a month. Until then, we don't really have to do anything. Except sit back and watch all that money flow in. Berlin is an absolute hole in 1444. It only develops in the 17th century via events. I assume this is at least somewhat based in history. Yeah, I'll go with that. The alt history that is me taking over, you see. Glad I've got all these goodies, but it must cost me an arm and a leg in storage here now. Man, I feel like Nitro. But it doesn't even cost me 50,000. You know, I make that in rent around here, wherever my buildings are. Look at that. The rent I make in Rostock covers all the extra rental for the warehouses, and that's insane. Alright, gonna save and save often, as you should after any major building project. No having to fight pirates, it's so good. I'm also pretty impressed at how fast these have built up. I was concerned it would take a while. But they're looking good. Kaunas is not looking good. What? Shoot. That's bad. I didn't realize I had so few businesses in Kaunas. After buying out the enemy, I have just let them come back in, and they've built almost 20 mead factories. Well, I mean, I guess they don't get many people working for them, so hopefully they'll tear them down. But still, that's really bad. Kaunas, what are you meant to be? Cheese and nothing but, they say. Okay. Yeah, I can see why I limited myself on that, but I'm still not happy. I should have caught that ages ago, but I did not. That's going to cost me a few million unless I do a horrible thing. So I'm probably going to do that horrible thing. Yeah, probably will do the horrible thing. Not because I can't afford to buy up their businesses, but after them snaking their way in like that, I have to teach them a lesson. Must be so nice living next to all these dairy farms. I love a good cheese. I mean, provided cheese is good. I don't know how good early modern era cheese is. Are we in that? No, it's 14th century. I don't know, it always strikes me so arbitrary, the names for these eras. That's a bit better. Still, enemy businesses are unpleasant. Okay, oh, right, Thorn, I keep forgetting, is not inland. Nonetheless, the enemies have built up a lot of businesses that I don't want them to have. So again, I'm going to have to kill them. Both by making sure there's no honey and by making sure the price of mead is skyrocketed. Thorn, to be sure, is meant to be nothing but wine, right? No, actually it's only meant to be 100 wine, of which we're too high already. Thorn is meant to give me grain and mead. So I should be getting going with that mead. Fortunately, the AIs are relatively slow at building businesses, but I have given them about half a year of uninterrupted building work. So I'll just have to come along and utterly face wreck them shortly. Good enough for now. This housing occupancy, however, is not. Alright, Jake, put it down. Put it down. We just gotta finish off Erfurt here. Which we can have in about now. Alright, we are now elected mayor of Erfurt. We're going to take what little money they have from their treasury. Admire their low taxing. Good business number, but it could be better. Same with the housing occupancy. But Erfurt's population is apparently meant to be 69,000, which is huge. And Erfurt is huge. So let's have a look at it. Okay, this is already it at its super maximum. And looks even bigger than Berlin. Well, actually, kind of on par with Berlin, so I feel good about putting Berlin at 69,000. That aside, though, it needs the usual treatment. 23 of these. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3. Part of me wonders if this place can't be even bigger. I mean, Erfurt is only producing metal for me. Wow, that's actually pretty badass. A city that produces nothing but metal. I think it would be Bjorn's favorite city. He's not called the Metal King for nothing. This is going to be so not enjoyable. Going to be like a whole day of just doing this. A waste of a day. Oh well, what must be done, must be done. At least we get that metal coming in. Yeah, but think about it. Once that day is done, all that's left is fine-tuning. And I guess building up the Hansa, the Mediterranean ports. As much as a pain as those things are probably going to be. Hey, it's Lucas. When are you gonna play Resi 6 with Lucky? Because I know someone that doesn't want to do that. I think his name rhymes with DDR hates Resident Evil 5. I'm not saying I'd rather play Code Veronica X than that garbage, I'm just saying it would be a difficult choice. Whenever Lucky gets on it, typical Lucas. Alright, there we go, that should keep Erfurt tight for a little bit. I'm happy with this, I'm pretty happy with this. Well, no, before we do finish up, there's one last thing I need to do. Unfortunately, Novgorod's election is about 360 days away because it's on the 13th of January. But people have been demanding that it's Novgorod. So sure, we can make that our retirement home. Move to Novgorod, done, and done right. We'll run for the election in 1385. And I'd love to celebrate with a meal, so we'll have a big old meal for arriving in Novgorod. One of our very few perfect cities. Except it's not full yet, but it damn well will be soon. Surprised it's so well supplied, but I think I sorted that out ages ago. The iceberg here, bringing all that cheese. Probably not bringing enough cheese, but okay, that's it for me for tonight. Gotta hit the hay, gotta get my butt to work tomorrow. But we are approaching the end of Patrician 4. We've tried very hard to get rid of these sound effects, but I think we're just gonna have to live with them unless somebody finds an amazing solution. All cities will be built up next session. And then after that it will just be fine-tuning, completely removing the AIs. I don't care about buying their houses, because whether you have them or they have them, the difference is just in a little bit of rent, and it takes forever for that rent to pay itself off, but they are not allowed any businesses whatsoever. I will starve them out. I will ensure that their businesses are not profitable. But that's for the next session. But from me for now, it's cheers and good night.